Yes.
Good afternoon, friends. At the outset, I thank the organizers of the Puduvai Pedicon for giving me this opportunity to discuss with you a very important issue about the pneumococcal vaccine. The focus in this session would be to start with, I would discuss a case scenario of a child with invasive pneumococcal disease from my case files. And then I would address the question of comparison of the available PCVs in the market today. And I would discuss the aspects of immunogenicity of various pneumococcal conjugate vaccines in the market. I would do an overview of the product switching of the PCVs which are available, and also the relevance of a booster dose with regard to pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, and then move on to the impact data of PCV, particularly futuristic predictions for India and the economic impact of pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in India, and also add some new Indian data on PCV 13 and end this session with summary and also predicting the future of pneumococcal conjugate vaccines. Let us discuss one of the cases we came across 3 months back. This is a 9-year-old male child who is absolutely well, developmentally normal. He presented with what looked like an acute CNS infection with fever of 1 day duration, vomiting, severe headache and neck pain with sleepiness. There is no history of seizures. But on examination, he had classic signs of meningitis with marked neck stiffness, very high fever, Koenig sign positivity. He did not have focal neurological deficit or cranial involvement. He was drowsy, his GCS was 13/15, he had a deviated nasal septum to the left. Preliminary investigations were essentially normal, except with a strikingly elevated CRP of 281, which really frightened us. Outside, a CT had been done, which was reported as showing mild cerebral edema, though the ventricles looked normal to us. With the diagnosis of probable raised ICD with acute bacterial meningitis, he was given 3% saline bolus, fundus was looked at, LP was done, and he was given a loading dose of ceftriaxone and vancomycin to cover pneumococcus. He was also given acyclovir because he was drowsy. We went ahead and did a lumbar puncture. To our surprise, the lumbar puncture showed classic features of acute bacterial meningitis with a cell count of 900 cells, with neutrophils of 80%. Sugar was very low, proteins were markedly elevated, and the gram strain, the microbiology technician immediately called us and told us that there are numerous pus cells with gram-positive cocaine pairs and in short strains, suggesting that it could be pneumococcus. What we did was to start on ceftriaxone and vancomycin. The resident called me and told me after the loading dose of vancomycin, the child developed red man syndrome with extensive rashes, and we are worried about giving further doses of vancomycin. We started on teicoplanin. At that point of time, we knew teicoplanin is very much inferior to vancomycin, particularly with regard to CNS penetration. We had to decide whether to add rifampicin, linezolid, or replace it with meropenem, or add chloramphenicol, or give fluoroquinolone. At that point of time, since we had a deflected nasal septum and the parents gave a history of injury to the nose, we did an MRI to rule out a structural anomaly leading to meningitis. Essentially, the MRI was normal. And the next morning, the microbiologist called us and told us the CSF and the blood both are growing streptococcus pneumonia. Immediately, we send the sample to CMC Vellore, where we get the typing of the pneumococcus done. Both blood and CSF was 19F, and the microbiologist gave us also sensitivity report which frightened us. What did it show? The pneumococcus was said resistant to penicillin, resistant to ceftriaxone, sensitive very much to vancomycin. And this was also confirmed in the laboratory at the CMC Bellu. At that point of time, we restarted vancomycin slowly and then continued ceftriaxone. This boy is very well without any neurological deficit. Why am I presenting this case? There are two reasons. One is that there is an increase in the incidence of drug-resistant pneumococcus across the world, and this is happening in India also. In fact, in our own series of 33 cases, 3 years back, over a period of 15 months, we had 52% of children with IPD having pneumonia, 36% had bacteremia, meningitis was there nearly 1/8. And 79% of these children suffered from invasive pneumococcal disease due to PCV13 covered vaccine serotypes. And only 21% were non-vaccine types from our hospital. Earlier, in Lancet Infectious Diseases, a multicentric study was published where we had shown that PCV13 covered strains were present in 74% of cases of invasive pneumococcal disease in children in India across many centers, south, north, east, west, and center. The next question that is often asked, there are 3 vaccines available. How do you choose them? Are they the same or are they different? All of us know that there are 2 10-valent vaccines and there is 1 13-valent vaccines. And the difference is also, all of us are familiar. We know that the older PCV10 of Glasgow, SmithKline Beecham does not contain 3, 6A and 19A, which is included in PCV13. And the new PCV10 marketed by Serum Institute of India does not contain serotype 4, 18C and 3. In other words, all the vaccines are not same, they are different. Are they equal? Are they similar? That is the question that is being asked. And we know that the antigen concentration, which definitely decides the immunogenicity against the various serotypes, is different in all these 3 vaccines. Because the PCV7 had been done earlier, technology has made the PCV13 manufacturers to have higher antigen concentration in PCV13 when compared to PCV10. But the conjugation technology is also different in PCV13, and it is believed that the conjugation technology which is used for PCV13 is superior to what is used in PCV10. Coming to the serotypes which are not there in PCV10 and which are there in PCV13, if you look at this picture, you will realize that serotype 3, which is not there in any vaccine other than PCV13, is notorious for causing necrotizing pneumonia and empyema. In fact, this has been a huge problem in the UK, where there had been a resurgence of cases of necrotizing pneumonia and empyema. Similarly, serotype 4 and 18C are notorious for causing outbreaks, particularly in Western countries where the vaccination coverage is good, and also for invasive pneumococcal disease. Serotype 6A is notorious for antibiotic resistance, and 19A is again notorious for multi-drug resistance, otitis media, as well as invasive pneumococcal disease. And these strains have to be covered if you want to reduce the incidence of invasive pneumococcal disease. And what about the vaccine coverage of the various strains in India, various serotypes in India? Consistently, PCV13 had always showed higher coverage. Nisarga, in one of the earlier studies, had shown that 87.5% of all the prevailing strains in India would be covered by PCV13. Mahendale showed 76% coverage, and Vandana in 2016 demonstrated a coverage over 80%. All this has been consistently higher when compared to PCV10, both types of PCV10. The next question that is debated, is there any difference in the immunogenicity between PCV13 and the PCV10 older one as well as the newer one? The answer is, before we try to answer that, we must know that IgG antibodies which are produced after vaccination, the amount of IgG antibodies reflect the intensity of the immune system stimulation, particularly B cell stimulation. Whereas opsonophagocytic activity, OPA, is said to be a surrogate marker of functional humoral protection, which is a direct protection. And studies have shown that the pneumococcal serotype specific IgG geometric mean titers 4 weeks after the third dose of PCV10 and 13, when they were compared, clearly when compared to PCV13, serotype 6A, 6B, 19A and 23F in newer PCV10 missed the threshold cutoff and the responses were lower, indicating that PCV13 could elicit more amount of serotype specific IgG following the third dose when compared to the newer PCV10. And as shown in this slide, the opsonophagocytic activity GMT titers 4 weeks after the third primary dose following PCV10 when compared to PCV13, the titers were certainly better with 13, though this was not greatly statistically significant. Does it matter at all? Do these differences matter at all? Yes, it does matter. The newer PCV10 immune response to 6A, 6B, 19A, 23F had missed the WHO established immunogenicity threshold when compared to PCV13, which had shown much higher titers. And the OPA also was inferior with regard to new PCV10 when compared to PCV13. These days, there are many parents who take vaccines in one place and then come to you for the next dose of PCV vaccine. Is it right to switch from one brand to another? Most studies have recommended that you should not change a brand. It is better to stick to the same brand, and there is no data which supports the theory that whatever vaccine that is available you give to the child, irrespective of what vaccine the child had earlier received. Coming to the booster dose, is it relevant at all? Yes, booster dose is definitely important. It reactivates immune memory B cells and increases the IgG antibody titers. Unfortunately, booster dose data for PCV10, the new PCV10 is not available, whereas it is very much available for PCV13. The next question that is asked, has there been an impact on the childhood mortality, childhood morbidity after introduction of PCV13? Look at this slide. Whether it is IPD or pneumonia or otitis media or herd effect, everywhere PCV7 to start with, followed by PCV13, has shown remarkable results. In fact, IPD had virtually disappeared in developed countries below the age of 5 years. All-cause pneumonia had come down even in countries like Gambia. Otitis media had come down even in Scandinavian countries after introduction of PCV. And most importantly, the number of adults, geriatric patients who have developed pneumonia has considerably come down after introduction of pneumococcal vaccine in the West. Last but not the least, is there going to be an economic impact because PCV is going to be introduced all over? It has already been introduced in the UPI in India. In a recent study, it has been shown that if you implement PCV13 vaccination in the UPI program, we will save the government a national cost of over $1 billion, and we will prevent 12.1 million cases of IPD, pneumonia, and otitis media. And the study concluded that over a period of 5 years, implementing PCV13 could avoid 12.1 million cases and save 0.6 billion lives and save a lot of money for us. The last point, is there any new data on PCV13? Yes. Recently, the study has been published with regard to the safety profile in 6 to 17 years of age in children. And I was fortunate to be included in the vaccine trial. The vaccine is very safe, and it has been approved for use by the DCJ in the age group of 6 to 17 years. After this, again, multi-dose vials are being used in the UPI. The Pfizer company, which produces PCV13, conducted another open label study, randomized study, containing multi-dose vials, and they were very safe. To summarize, what do we need at the end? Any PCV that we use should bring down IPD, bring down pneumonia, bring down otitis media, should have a broad coverage, and must also demonstrate impact on all diseases caused by pneumococci, should reduce antibiotic resistance, should reduce nasopharyngeal carriage. Of the available PCVs, it is only PCV13 that is included in the maximum number of countries in the world, 130 countries. And it is used exclusively in 127 countries. It is the only vaccine which is approved across ages from 6 weeks right up to geriatric age group. What is going to be the future of pneumococcal conjugate vaccine? It's going to be exciting and exciting. Why? Already US FDA has approved use of pneumococcal conjugate vaccine 20-valent. It is approved only for adults above 18 years of age. Studies on children are going on, and very soon we will get upgradation to PCV 20, 25, 50, why not 75? That is going to be an exciting future. Thank you very much. If there are any questions or feedback, please mail me or ask me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. That concludes our recorded session by S. Balasubramanian.